Ever wondered if turning your heartbreak into a hardcore gym session really cure your emotional pain? Or does it just build muscle over unhealed wounds? Hey everyone, welcome to the Soul Peak channel. It's Mrs. T here, and today we're diving deep into a hot topic that's stirring up quite the debate. You've probably heard of Andrew Tate, a man known for his take-no-prisoners attitude towards life and love. He says that the best way to handle a breakup is to transform all that pain into power. But is pumping iron and pushing yourself to become an animal really the healthiest way to heal a broken heart? We're going to unpack why Tate's tough love advice might not be the one-size-fits-all solution it's made out to be. We'll explore what psychologists say about healing, the risks of ignoring your emotions, and healthier ways to recover from heartbreak. So, if you've ever found yourself drowning in ice cream and sad songs post-breakup, or hitting the gym trying to sweat out the sadness, stick around. This might just change how you handle heartache next time around. Alright, let's get into the heart of today's discussion. Andrew Tate, a name that sparks a lot of opinions, right? He's known for his hard-hitting advice and often controversial takes on how men should handle heartbreak and emotional pain. What is Tate's basic idea? He sees emotional pain not as something to heal from in the traditional sense, but as a powerful fuel. According to him, the pain of a breakup should be the gym pass you never bought, the wake-up call to transform your physique and mindset. Heartbreak is unlimited motivation. Turn that energy into power, into becoming undeniable in your own life. Pretty intense, right? Tate argues that instead of wallowing in sadness, you should channel that heartache into becoming stronger, more dominant, essentially an animal in pursuit of personal greatness. He's all about conversion, taking the raw, messy energy of emotional pain and converting it into physical strength and social dominance. It's about not just moving on, but upping your game so much that you're playing a whole new league. But here's the million-dollar question we're exploring today. Does turning your breakup pain into a relentless pursuit of power truly heal you? Or does it just build a fortress around unhealed wounds? And while this might resonate with many, pushing through the pain with sheer willpower, we've got to ask, what happens to the emotional scars? Are we healing or just hiding? Stick around, because we're about to dig deeper into what emotional healing really looks like, and whether Tate's method is the emotional equivalent of slapping a band-aid on a deep wound. Okay, so we've got a sense of Tate's turn pain into power motto. It's captivating, it's motivating, but let's hit the pause button and think this through with a bit more depth. First up, psychological health. We know heartbreak hurts, right? But what Tate suggests is kind of like using anger as fuel. Sounds good on a bumper sticker, but psychologists warn there's a catch. Experts tell us that healing isn't just about distraction or transformation. It's about processing. You've got to face those messy feelings, not just repaint them with sweat and success. Healing is about dealing with grief, reflecting on your experiences, and yes, sometimes, just letting yourself feel sad. And then there's how this mindset affects your relationships. Think about it. Increasing your dominance and power as a response to heartbreak? Sure, it might make you feel less vulnerable, but it can also lead you to a place where you're emotionally walled off. This can kick off a cycle of detachment where you might end up in relationships where you're not really there, emotionally. You're just going through the motions trying to prove something, maybe even developing some toxic behaviors because you're not dealing with your underlying feelings. Now let's talk about the big elephant in the room: gender stereotypes. Tate's philosophy kind of plays right into those old school ideas about masculinity. You know, the men don't cry, men are tough mantra. But here's the thing. Emotions are human, not just male or female. When we say that men should only channel pain into power and not acknowledge their hurt, we're not just boxing men into an outdated stereotype, we're also setting up a ripple effect that impacts everyone. It can strain relationships, create misunderstandings, and honestly, it just makes it tough for everyone to be their true selves. So, what's the real deal? Are we building healthier futures, or are we just layering more armor over our wounds? Now that we've taken a critical look at the turn pain into power approach, let's shift gears and talk about some alternative strategies that might not only soothe your heartbreak, but also enrich your overall emotional well-being. So, turning into a beast at the gym isn't the only way to deal with heartbreak. Let's talk about some other paths you can take that are all about healing, growing, and yes, even thriving after a breakup. First off, there's therapy. And no, it's not just sitting in a dim room talking about your childhood. though that can happen. Therapy is really about giving you the tools to understand and process your emotions, not bury them under a new PR at the gym. Therapists can guide you through the muddy waters of your feelings, help you learn from them, and get you ready for healthier relationships in the future. It's like getting a map in a treasure hunt where emotional maturity is the treasure. Next up, community support. Whether it's friends, family, or support groups, having people around who care can make all the difference. It's about sharing your story, hearing others, and realizing you're not alone in this. These connections can provide comfort and perspective when you're feeling lost. And sometimes, just getting a hug or hearing someone say, "I get it," can start to turn things around. And then, there's self-compassion. This one's big. Breakups can leave us feeling pretty down on ourselves. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a good friend in your shoes. It's about recognizing that it's okay to not be okay. It's about giving yourself permission to grieve, to rest, and to rebuild at your own pace. This isn't about being self-indulgent. It's about being self-respectful. Now, why go these routes? Well, apart from saving on gym memberships, just kidding. These strategies help build long-term emotional health. We're talking about the kind of growth that doesn't just patch you up for the next relationship, but enriches every part of your life. By facing and processing your emotions, you're less likely to repeat past relationship mistakes. You're building stronger, healthier connections with others. And you're developing resilience that goes beyond muscle. It's emotional strength. Heartbreak doesn't have to lead to a heavy lifting session every time. Sometimes, it can open a door to understanding yourself and others in ways you never imagined. So, give yourself the space to heal, to grow, and to find happiness in ways that are true to you. Alright, let's zoom out for a moment and consider the bigger picture. What does a philosophy like Andrew Tate's really mean for society, especially for how we view masculinity and emotional health? We've talked about alternative ways to handle heartbreak, but let's take a step back and look at what pushing a pain into power mindset could mean on a larger scale. When public figures promote the idea that the best way to deal with emotional pain is through dominance and sheer willpower, it sets a tone, right? It tells us that being vulnerable isn't okay, that showing emotions or admitting you're not all-powerful is a sign of weakness. So, what does this do to our emotional health? It can lead to a lot of internalized stress and anxiety. Men might feel they can't talk about their feelings or seek help, leading to worse emotional and even physical health outcomes. And it's not just men who are affected. This philosophy can strain relationships with everyone, from partners to family to friends, perpetuating cycles of emotional detachment and misunderstanding. But imagine a world where strength isn't just about muscles or power, where it's also about having the courage to show vulnerability and the strength to be genuine about what you're feeling. True strength includes being able to ask for help, to admit you're not okay, and to take steps to really deal with your emotions, not just disguise them. So I challenge you, next time you hear someone say, "Man up and move on," think about what that really means. Are we moving on? Or are we just moving away from dealing with our true selves? Let's redefine strength. Let's make emotional intelligence and vulnerability as celebrated as any physical feat. It's crucial to critically think about the messages we receive, especially from influential figures. Ask yourself, does this advice build me up holistically? Or does it just push me to bury parts of who I am? Don't just take any advice at face value, including mine. Explore, question, and find what truly works for you in your journey toward healing and growth. If you found these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more supportive content. Share your thoughts and your own experiences in the comments below. Until next time, keep climbing to your soul's peak.